Salah dropped, and pundits stunned, and Arne finally explains the bold call that shocked Liverpool fans. Van Dijk fires back at critics, Gomez reveals a key tactical tweak, and one underrated star finally gets his credit. Let's break it all down, starting now. What 6 pundits have said about Mohamed Salah being dropped as Arne explains bold call. Mohamed Salah was an unused substitute during Liverpool's 2-0 win over West Ham United on Sunday. Everything you need to know. Slot makes Salah decision. Liverpool manager Arne explained that benching Mohamed Salah for the club's 2-0 win against West Ham United was necessary due to a heavily congested fixture schedule with 4 matches in 10 days. He explained his Liverpool squad was limited, with only 14 to 15 outfield players available, forcing changes to be made. Reason Salah was benched. Slot was keen to downplay the significance of the decision, reassuring fans about Salah's standing at the club. He stressed that Salah is a special player who has had an unbelievable career and will have a very good future at Liverpool. Crouch gives verdict. Former striker Peter Crouch stated that the decision to drop Salah was necessary to solve Liverpool's now deep-rooted problems. Crouch argued that Salah should not be above being taken out of the team if his performances continue to be subpar. Shearer agrees with Salah's call. Alan Shearer praised Arne for the move, calling it a big call that was justified by the team's recent poor run of results ahead of the match. Shearer claimed that Salah could not complain about being benched given his disappointing performance levels recently. Rooney weighs in. Wayne Rooney had previously called for Salah to be dropped due to concerns over his defensive work rate, specifically accusing the forward of failing to carry out his tracking back duties. Rooney felt the bold decision would send a strong message of accountability to the other players currently on the bench. Carragher and Souness agree. Liverpool legends Jamie Carragher and Graham Souness had also criticized the Egyptians' declining form and lack of defensive contribution leading up to the match against West Ham. In particular, Carragher admitted he was really angry with the players, including Salah, following the heavy 4-1 Champions League defeat to PSV. Jagiella has a different view. Former England and Everton defender Phil Jagiella offered a different perspective, suggesting it was an easier decision to drop Salah than a key defensive player like Virgil van Dijk. He noted that Salah is a player whose historically ridiculous numbers are vital, but he's known to go missing at times. Salah not used to being sub. Slot's decision was highly significant as it was the first time Salah had been dropped from a Premier League starting lineup since April 2024, also against West Ham. Salah has scored 4 Premier League goals so far this season, contributing to the team's alarming run of form.
Virgil van Dijk on criticism, title race and Liverpool fans as Reds return to winning ways. Virgil van Dijk spoke after Liverpool's win over West Ham as the Reds finally returned to winning ways after a wretched run of form, both domestically and in Europe. Everything Virgil van Dijk said as Liverpool returned to winning ways. Positive result and clean sheet. Van Dijk was very pleased with the team's 2-0 victory at West Ham, calling it an important win for the squad. He was particularly satisfied that the team managed to secure a clean sheet during the match. Ignoring the league table. He insisted that Liverpool should not be focusing on the Premier League standings at this stage. He believes there's no point in looking at the table, and they should only concentrate on their own games. Controlling criticism. The skipper stated that the only way the team can effectively manage the recent criticism is by performing better. Achieving good results on the pitch is the sole factor they can truly control. Accepting scrutiny. Van Dijk acknowledged that receiving criticism is simply a natural part of the game that players must face. He explained that this is what critics get paid for, and the players must find a way to deal with it. Finding consistency. The most crucial objective for the team right now is establishing a steady level of consistency in their performance. This is needed across all aspects of their game, including how they attack and defend. Focus on next match. The team cannot dwell on the West Ham victory, as attention must immediately turn to the next fixture. They are now preparing for what he expects to be a very hard, tough game at home against Sunderland on Wednesday. Praise for supporters. He extended big credit to the vocal away fans for their unwavering support during the match. Van Dijk urged the supporters to continue backing the team as they strive to get the results they want. Highlighting key performers. He was delighted with the displays from players returning to the side, specifically calling Joe Gomez's performance outstandingly. He was also pleased to see Florian Wirtz back and showing his quality with and without the ball. Full story. Virgil van Dijk admits there's no point in Liverpool doing one thing after West Ham win.
Micah dismisses Mohamed Salah theory after Liverpool benching. Never has. Mohamed Salah was left out of the Liverpool team against West Ham United when Alexander Isak and Cody Gakpo scored to hand Arne Slot a much-needed Premier League boost. Micah Richards, who played with Mohamed Salah at Fiorentina in Italy, says the Liverpool ace is being wrongly criticized for his defensive work, when there are actually more important elements of his game missing. Salah was dropped from the Liverpool starting 11 against West Ham United this weekend, and he never came off the bench at the London Stadium. In his absence, Alexander Isak and Cody Gakpo scored, and Florian Wirtz and Dominik Szoboszlai played well. Pundits now say, oh, he's not tracking runners. Mo Salah has never really tracked runners. I remember last season, Arne Slot was saying he's got more of a role where he can stay a little higher. The problem is, he's not scoring as frequently as last season. If you're not scoring, the manager has it within his rights to replace him. It's a big decision, but the manager's job is on the line. Going away from home, he probably thought, I need a bit more stability. He hasn't been scoring goals. He hasn't been playing well, and when that happens, the manager's got every right to leave you out. And when he leaves you out, you have to get a result, and they have done. Salah has scored 5 goals this season, but Liverpool looked more solid and well-structured without him in the team against West Ham. That leaves Slot with a big decision to make against Sunderland and Leeds United this week. I got this question already a lot, Slot said during his post-match press conference when he was asked about benching Salah. It's every time we play a game when I don't play Florian Wirtz, when I don't play Alexander Isak, when I don't play Hugo Ekitike, when I don't play Mo Salah. It's about that, which is normal because they're all outstanding players. And Mo has had an unbelievable career here at this club and will have a very good future at this club because he's such a special player. 4 games in 10 days, with only 14 to 15 outfield players available for us, then you have to decide once in a while to make a certain lineup, and you try to pick the best lineup for every single game. Today, with the way they set up, with a fullback that is constantly very high and a winger that is constantly inside, I thought this could help the team. Like I said, he has been so important for this club and will be important for this club in the future. Liverpool.com says Salah should be fired up after he was taken out of the team. When he comes back in, whether that is against Sunderland or after, he will feel he has a point to prove. Joe Gomez shares Arne Slot tweak that helped Liverpool end losing run at West Ham. Liverpool ended a 3-game losing run with a 2-0 victory over West Ham at the London Stadium, with Joe Gomez playing his part on his first Premier League start of 2026. Joe Gomez said that there was a greater emphasis on defense as Liverpool went into Sunday's Premier League game against West Ham off the back of a torrid run of results. In the Reds' 3 previous games, they had conceded 10 goals, and Slot's men have already shipped more than 30 goals in all competitions since the start of the season. Liverpool's clean sheet against West Ham was just the team's 5th in 21 games this season, and Gomez said that the team's defensive solidity in East London provided the attackers with a platform to win the game. The quality of the team is never going to just dissipate, Gomez told Club Media. There was definitely emphasis on trying to have a solid foundation and just trying to keep a clean sheet. We know we have so much quality going forward that things will happen, the boys will get chances, and they can take them. Gomez's start against West Ham was his first in the Premier League since December. The 28-year-old missed the second half of last season due to a serious injury, and although he has been in all of the game day squads in the top flight since the start of the season, a knee problem has restricted him to cameo appearances. Despite not playing very often, Gomez outlined his role as one of the senior players in the squad.
I think it's trying to keep a positive energy, trying to influence the boys in the right way, Gomez said of his responsibilities. Setting an example on a training pitch, being positive, just keeping the mood up, trying to keep overall balance on amongst the boys. Speaking to the younger lads and just saying, keep going. Sometimes it's a small positive comment that can just lift them and keep them in a good place. Just know that I'm here for them. All of us are here for you. We're all supporting each other and we're in this together. We're a squad, and these moments when we come through will only make us stronger and build resilience. We all do what we can. On being handed a first start of the season, Gomez added, "It means a lot to me. Last time I was here, it's where I got my first injury, but I do everything I can to stay available and try to help the squad. That's the main thing. The main thing is us sticking together. It's a tough schedule now, back to back, and we've just got to go again, and we'll do that."
Underrated star finally gets his flowers under Arne slot. Once you've gained a reputation amongst the Anfield faithful, it can be difficult to shake it. Some receive instant cult favorite status like Wataru Endo and Federico Chiesa, whereas others have set the standard for years like Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and Alisson, who are all legends. In between those extremes, you've got players constantly battling for their reputations, and despite having served in the team for nearly 3 years, winger Cody Gakpo has been unable to shake an opinion that the fans have of him. Regularly, he keeps hold of the ball for too long, and his signature move is to cut inside and take a shot into the far corner. At times, he can be incredibly predictable, but that doesn't mean that he's not an integral part of the team who often makes a big difference. We need more balanced Gakpo discourse. Back when Luis Diaz was a Red, the Colombian often overshadowed Gakpo down the left side, and after he departed for Bayern Munich in the summer, the narrative was very much based on finding someone to replace the 28-year-old rather than promoting the Dutchman to finally be first choice. In the end, it was decided that Rion Gumhoha would be promoted from the academy to back up Gakpo, and while the move hasn't resulted in the 26-year-old flourishing, he hasn't been that bad. On Sunday afternoon against West Ham, he delivered a goal and an assist, which brought him in line with Salah for goals this season and top of the Reds' assist tally. That is really quite outstanding. Of course, all of Liverpool's forwards have been underwhelming this season, and given how much scrutiny Salah has faced, it's a little extraordinary that I'm painting this as a positive. But there's so much negative discourse out there about Gakpo that it's easy to lose track of the facts. When the Egyptian goes to AFCON in a few weeks' time, the Dutchman will be the most experienced forward at the club, charged with helping the team to navigate the difficult festive period, supporting his new teammates, most of which still haven't really found their feet. Alexander Isak notched his first Premier League for Liverpool against West Ham, and Florian Wirtz is without a goal or an assist. As such, while everyone's entitled to their view and players deserve to be criticized for their shortcomings, it only seems fair if they're given their flowers when they're deserving of them. Playing almost every week means you're twice as likely to be pulled up because other players are being left on the bench for your involvement. But more often than not, Gakpo delivers for the team.